Hello, dear. From this video, you will learn the secret of the civilization of mankind. Listen to the wisdom of the great shaman, imbued with the truth, and only this will relieve you from stress and give you a bright, calm state. Did man evolve from monkeys? If it was true, he would still be jumping from one tree to another. Man is constituted in a way that he isn't able to become civilized himself. There were such examples when children were brought up by animals, and these children behaved like beasts, running on all fours, howling, etc. And even when they were later introduced to people, they weren't able to become true members of society. They remained mentally delayed and possessed the habits of animals. So how did civilization appear? It was launched artificially by aliens from other planets and incarnated great beings. This was in the day of megaliths such as pyramids, Stonehenge, Machu Picchu, and others settled in different parts of the world. Esoteric schools were organized, which included all of the people, though there were not many in these places, just several hundred people. In each such place, people were given different religious teachings with a single essence. That was the way God wanted to show that truth can have many forms. Megalithic temples were built, and they became objective art masterpieces. But then the great beings left the earth, society began to grow, and at the same time to degrade. Spirituality started being replaced by science and technological progress, which led to wars and the destruction of nature. The spiritual level was maintained only to rare messengers of God, such as Christ, Buddha, Muhammad, and others. Why did God allow this to happen? Why didn't he make sure that all people from their early childhood were able to study in the spiritual school and develop in this way? The fact is that the physical place is a place of suffering, and spirituality has become a small part of our life. God is interested in the world that has many forms of human life, and so people could get diverse experience, a more negative one, while in this process. Is there a solution for this problem which could help us decide this situation? The only way is to start living with the heart, with sublime emotions. But modern culture does not give us the basic understanding for such a life. It is necessary to look for those impressions which will awaken love, kindness, compassion, sympathy, gratitude, selflessness, and conscience. All these emotions have always existed in all native normal religions, but now it has been forgotten. If people more often turn to God and live in mutual love, then all the evil on the earth will cease, since evil is associated with negative emotions and with everything that generates them, with the strengthening of isolation and selfishness, which are now increasing in megacities. People living in villages in the bosom of nature possess much more cordiality, sincerity, and kindness. Modern civilization closes the human heart, makes one live focusing on the power of their brain, and thus turns the person into a robot. What are the criteria for proper development? This is self-observation, when a person is horrified by what he can see in himself, and he awakens the pangs of conscience, which will push him to real development, which will not let him calm down and fall asleep. Are all people capable of development? No. The problem is that most of us succumb to ugly upbringing and became Mowgli. Only those who were able to resist public insanity are capable of it. In addition, there is a certain period. The younger a person is, the better, The older he becomes, the more difficult it is for him, because years of living a wrong life cripple a person, turning him into a freak. Why should people be tormented? The reason is that only suffering pushes a person to self-development, to the constant search for the meaning of life, reflection. And besides, negative experience makes the soul more mature. It gives something that the soul isn't able to get in the subtle plane, where there is no such ignorance and torments. That's why life in the physical plane is created. If you came to this earth, pay as you please. There's only one type of fair currency in this world: pain. Every living being is a part of God, and all these parts are inherently the same. But there will be a chain of incarnations in the physical world. These parts will receive individuality due to different life experiences in the body of a tree, insect, fish, beast. This is how individuality is formed, and different forms of life are created, as the experience of one creature shouldn't be similar to the one of somebody else. Every being begins his journey blind and ignorant, for if it had known at once that it was a part of God, it would not have suffered, nor struggled, nor sought truth, nor suffered for unsolvable problems, but would have gone straight back to his Father. Moreover, all impressions that all beings receive are food for God. If all these beings were sighted, there would not be such a variety of impressions. Everyone would just sit and meditate, so we are blind to the law of the game. But our task is to remember our divinity, and the way to this lies through love and consciousness, qualities which contain the spark of God, God's Son. Remaining in a degraded society, which is preparing for the suicide of nuclear war, we aren't able to do it, because we are again, due to external influences, education, and we are not far from the people who were raised by animals. In order to become a normal, perfect being from a degenerate person, it is necessary to begin re-education, the process of self-development. And this is possible only under the influence of a group of like-minded people who, rejecting the influence of a sick society, also longs for his own development. Only then can Mowgli, who lives in the stone jungle, become a Superman. But now there are a lot of people who just imagine that they are developing. Real, genuine development is possible only through the training of pupils of the big shaman. Therefore, lead all your friends to the training, and then your fate will become more successful, happy, and all the problems will be solved. May the spirits of happiness fly to you. Hooray, Mangalam. We invite you to join spiritual seminars, workshops, and retreats hosted by the Leader Masters. Reveal your superpowers, find your predestination, and accumulate power to gain well-being and bring your goals to life. Send an email saying, "I want to join the seminar" to our mailbox, and we will give you all the information. See you soon.